the infection can be caused by fungus, or it can be caused by actinomycetes, which are the higher group of the bacteria. So eumycetoma भनेको it is caused by eumycetoma भनेको it is the mycetoma that is caused by the molds or the fungus, and the most common one being Madurella mycetomatis. It is the common one, that is the predominant pathogen that causes eumycetoma. And another is Madurella grigia, Madurella mycetomatis and Madurella grigia. The Scudosporidium, that is also known as Pseudo-Listeria boydii, Leptospirea, Fusarium. So these are the fungus that cause the eumycetoma. And the color of the grains or the colonies of the fungus, these are black or white in color, and these are quite localized than the actinomycetoma. Actinomycetoma भनेको these are these are much acute than the chronic infection that is caused by eumycetoma. Actinomycetoma भनेको these are the bacteria. These are the bacteria which are higher aerobic filamentous bacteria. कुनै चाहिँ अब anaerobic पनि हुन्छ हैन. These are the filamentous bacteria, and the causative agent is Actinomycura maduri. The causative agent is Actinomycura maduri. This is the predominant one, and Nocardia species, Streptomyces, so these are the causative agents of actinomycetoma. And the color of the grains, that is the colonies, these might be red, white, yellow, and colorful. These are much more colorful than the eumycetoma. Clinical features, you cannot differentiate by looking only at the color of the grains. You cannot differentiate between the eumycetoma and the actinomycetoma. Let's say the mycetoma can be related with other bacteria as well. Mycetoma can be caused by other bacteria, such as the Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, E. coli, Proteus. And for the infection to occur by these organisms, it may not take the very long time. Now, now let's start with the mode of infection, where the organism is distributed. Now these organisms which we talked about before, actinomycetes and the fungus such as Madurella, these are worldwide distributed. These are distributed worldwide, and this infection, it is generally seen in the rural areas. These are seen in the rural areas, and in those areas where there are the farmers, who walk barefooted in the land, in the agricultural land, parks, if they walk barefooted, the organisms which are present in the soil, they might enter into the skin, abrasions, or they might enter through the soil. Thorns, or the organisms which are present in the soil, they will enter into the wound or the cut. So the source of infection is soil, because the organisms, they reside in the soil or in the vegetation. So mode of infection, that is the trauma to the skin. When you write the pathogenesis, you have to include the mode of infection. So when there is a trauma to the skin by any plant materials, the soil, it does not enter into the intact skin. If there is a thorn, if there is a tree, vegetation, sometimes it might cause the cut, or it might cause wound, it might enter into our body. So over there, the most common site is the leg, because when we walk barefooted, or when we work in the soil, in the land, our hand might get infected with the pathogens. So 2/3 of the cases, feet is the most common site, and the other site which are included are lower legs, hand, neck, chest, any part can be infected, but the most common one being leg, and second one is the feet. First this is leg and the hands. So any part can be infected. Now the pathogenesis. So initially, mode of infection bhayale, that is after the minor trauma to the skin, the contaminated material which contains the soil, and soil mapani, there should be presence of the fungus or the actinomycetes. It gets inoculated in the skin or the subcutaneous tissues. So after the inoculation, when the organisms multiply over there, after the inoculation of the organism multiplies over there. This means initially there will be localized multiplication, and at the site of the entry there will be formation of the small lesion. The lesions initially begins as a small form, and it is quite hard. Small form painless nodule will be formed. There will be small subcutaneous nodule formation, and it might be our nodule formation, or it might be just like a raised area, that is the plaques can be there. And this is initially it is very small, and gradually there will be increase in the size of that nodule. Which will increase in size, and remember it is painless. Initially it is painless. It goes unnoticed. And leg mass, if there is a painless nodule, nobody cares. So, and it gradually increases in size. So especially now, the fungus, it will start about, since we are talking about mycosis, it's a fungus. So it will increase in size, that is the fungus will start to multiply, the hypha will start to be formed, fungus could say filaments, that is the hypha will start to be formed in the infected part. And it leads to the formation of the colony. The mycelium is formed, and that mycelium and the collection of the fungus, now it is known as the grains, and it has a characteristic appearance, that is Eumycetoma, the grains, it might have the black, creamy or white in color. So the grains, remember these are the colonies of the causative agents. It might be actinomycetes, or it might be the fungus. So the grains are formed in the lesion. The lesion also matter. Now the grains or the colonies of the causative agents may be formed, and it might be of the different color depending upon the causative agent. Especially now, that nodule, it start to increase in size. Now it will start to increase in size, and now it is termed as a tumor. And a true tumor, it is not a true tumor, but it becomes a tumor-like lesion because it increases in size, and there will be progressive increase in size. It will increase in size, and there will be enlargement of the nodule, which is relatively painless, or tumor, just it is relatively painless. And especially there is also the swelling of the nearby sites, nearby part of the body, the infected. So nearby part, there will be swelling of that part, reddening and swelling of that part, and the nodule will increase in size, and there will be formation of the new nodules also. Just nearby site matter, there will be formation of the new nodules also. And the enlarged nodules later on, there will be collection of the abscess in the subcutaneous area. There will be collection of the pus, and different types of the colorful fluids are accumulated in the subcutaneous areas, which might be black in color, which might be serosanguinous, that is red in color. So the fluids are accumulated in the subcutaneous tissues, and the enlarged nodules, now they will break out into the skin through the tract, that is the sinus tract, and new tract is the form, by which the these fluids they will come out into the skin. Break skin, even if there is no break, there will be a new sinus tract formation from which the fluid will come out into the skin. That is, there will be discharging of the sanguineous fluid, that is colorful fluid, red colored fluid, seropurulent fluid, that is purulent pus, or simply serous fluid, or the purulent exudates that contains the grains. That contains the colonies of the organisms. They will come out into the skin. In subcutaneous tissue matter, there is the infection, and they will break out into the skin through the sinus tract. And I have highlighted this in a tumor, sinus tract, because you have to remember this part. And these is actually today you have the infection, you are pricked by a thorn that contains the organism, and tomorrow these symptoms are not seen. It is a chronic infection. It takes several years for the tumor to develop, for the lesion to develop. So the disease usually runs a chronic course from several years, or sometimes it might take decades. So say opportunistic infections are so that is when the individual becomes immune compromised, this infection can be seen. So the lesion, it spreads to the adjacent structures, and the nearby structures are massive. These can spread, forming the several other nodules, and virtually this infection, it is not spread by the hematogenous dissemination, and it is not a contagious infection. It does not get transferred from one individual to another by skin contact, but intact skin, but generally it does not spread. The pain, the fever, these are not the symptoms symptoms of the mycetoma. Eumycetoma actually these are not the symptoms unless we are secondarily infected with other bacteria. Suppose if there is a draining sinus, if there is a draining sinus, we might get secondarily infected with other bacteria. Bacterial infections are so we might have pain and fever later on. Otherwise, eumycetoma initially there is no pain. And this mycetoma clinical features are it is defined by triad of symptoms. There are three important symptoms. First one is tumefactions. Tumefaction that is there is the tumor-like swelling. Right? There is the tumor-like swelling. The affected part there is the swelling. There is there are the formation of the other nodules. That is known as the tumefaction or the tumor-like swelling. This is one symptom. Another is there is a formation of the multiple draining sinus, that is the fluid that is present in the subcutaneous tissue. It will come out into the skin. And it's a break, that is known as the multiple draining sinuses are formed. And third one is the presence of the granules or the grains. You could say granules. These are the granules or the grains are the colonies of the microorganism, or simply the fungus or the actinomycetes colonies like that. These are known as the grains, and these are found in the sinuses. Sinus open, there is the formation of this presence of these grains, and these are used for the laboratory diagnosis. And remember, this infection, it is not contagious infection. This is the mycetoma. There is the formation of subcutaneous tissues matching. There is the formation of the abscess, abscessor form, and there is the collection of the sanguinous or the serosanguinous or purulent fluids are present in these abscesses, which will come out from these sinuses. A tract just to form the sinus tract, and this is the tract from where the grains will come out, right? So these are the abscess formation, and sometimes there might be involvement of the bone or bone involvement, which might cause the distortion of the bone as well. This is the mycetoma. Just a drop, just these are the fluids that contains the grains. And there is the hyperplasia at the opening of the sinus tract. Now the new nodules might be formed over there. Right? Just halko condition around. Actinomycotic mycetoma. This is the mycetoma too. The tumefaction the tumor-like extension, as well as there is the tumor-like swelling, whole part ko swelling not only initially there was the infection in one part, but chronically it is not painful and it will spread in the nearby areas. Then hematogenous spread orko part nearby areas there will be spread of the infection, and this is the characteristic of the mycetoma. Opening there are the several draining sinuses, sinus tracts, and from which the grains will come out. Okay. This is the mycetoma. Now the lab diagnosis of mycetoma, laboratory diagnosis of mycetoma. Our clinical specimen, what will be the sample? Tissue biopsy. Tissue biopsy is our sample. If there is no fluid present, and if there is no grains or the granules, just a condition as a tissue biopsy. Otherwise, the serosanguinous fluid or the simply fluid that contains the grains or the granules. The best one, that is the grains or granules one. It is best because we will see the causative agent. And directly we can observe the causative agent under the microscope, or directly we can culture it. Tissue biopsy, if there may or may not be the presence of the grains. So the clinical specimen is the tissue biopsy, or the grains or the granules might be formed. So your granule confused now, it is synonymously used. The granule is synonymously used with the grain. So the macroscopic examination. So when we collect our sample, we have to observe the granules, because we talked about the color of the granules or the grains before. So we have already discussed that. So macroscopic observation after cleaning the grains or the granules, washing it with the distilled water, we can we should perform the macroscopic observation, that is the color of the grain, that is the size of the grain, shape, consistency of the grain. These have to be noted because these features can differentiate between the eumycetoma and the actinomycetoma. Size of the granule is usually 0.5 to 2 mm, and in case of actinomycetoma, the color of the granules these are whitish or yellowish colored, and it's many blackish and red color granules are also formed by the actinomycetes, and these are firm and brittle. The actinomycetes grains, these are firm and brittle, and these are not readily emulsifiable. Whereas eumycetoma चाहिँ black or white, yellowish, off-white color, that is black or white or off-white, creamy, yellowish color. Otherwise, red color grains are not formed by this eumycetoma. And actinomycetes condition, the grains, these have the homogeneous texture, whereas fungus or the eumycetoma condition, the grains, these have the heterogeneous texture. You got a macroscopic observation, and these are the different colorful grains that are produced by the actinomycetes and the eumycete fungus. And your color is the production गर्छ, you don't have to mug it up, simply that is white. Some of the organisms produce red or pink color grains, black to brown, white to yellow, pale yellow, cream color, colonies, these are the grains are colonies of the organisms. So this is the grain. So sample especially we washed it, and these are the grains, black colored grains that is formed by Majorella mycetomatics. It is a fungus, black colored grain. These are the black colored grains which we can see. Now the microscopic examination. Microscopic examination of the eumycetoma. But when we observe under the microscope, microscopic examination of the eumycetoma. The grains, these are fungus lysis, the grains, these should be placed in the 10 to 20% potassium hydroxide. Slide we put 10 to 20% potassium hydroxide, and we put some of the grains, and these grains should be compressed. Form brittle, so it should be compressed by another slide, and it should be covered with a cover slip and observed under the microscope. And you can see exactly it is not very sure, because there are the several causative agents of the mycetoma. So yes, let's say after you observe under the microscope, you can differentiate between the actinomycetes and the fungus. You can differentiate between the causative agents. Broadly, you can differentiate between the eumycetoma and the actinomycetoma. You cannot confirm the causative agent directly, but you can differentiate between the eumycetoma or the actinomycetoma. And mere the color of the grains will not differentiate between the actinomycetoma and eumycetoma. So eumycetoma condition, there will be presence of the hypha. Since it is a fungus, there will be presence of the mycelium, or there will be presence of the septate hyphae. Generally, the hyphae, the main causative agent, that is the Majorella species, these have the septate hyphae, and these have the intertwined broad septate hyphae. Hyphae diameter, it is about 2 breadth. The breadth of the hyphae is about 2 to 5 micrometer. And there will be presence of the chlamydospore. In hypha ko beech mein there will be a large swollen chlamydospore formation, which is about 15 micrometer or more in the size. I'll show you the figure of the chlamydospore and the hyphae. And the tissue sections are the sample we cannot stain it with the lactophenol cotton blue directly. Just like we have to stain it with the Parker ink or calcofluor white stain. We have to stain it. We have discussed about these stains. Calcofluor white stain, it is a type of fluorescent stain which will stain the cell wall of the fungus. This gropot methenamine silver stain, it will stain the fungus. HNE, purified acid stain, that is PAS stain. These are used for the tissue sections. So actinomycetoma, actinomycetes, as we already said before, actinomycetes, these are the bacteria, higher bacteria. So we can stain them with the gram stain. These are the gram positive filamentous bacilli. These closely resemble with the fungus. They are bacteria, 2 to 4 micrometer in size. These are filamentous size, and these might have pleomorphic shape. Pleomorphic, these can have a cocal appearance, or these might have the filamentous appearance. So it's changes. The size and the shape of the actinomycetes keeps on changing. So generally these are the filamentous bacilli, and when we observe under the microscope after staining with the gram stain, we might see the filamentous gram-positive bacteria, and these have the club-shaped ends. Yes, there will be collection of the host proteins at the end. Yes, I think they were club-shaped पनि हुन्छ यसको चाहिँ. And अरू कुनै अब यो Nocardia species भनेको चाहिँ these are acid-fast stain. These have the mycolic acid on their cell wall, and they are stained with the acid-fast staining, special staining. We have to perform the acid-fast stain while staining with the Gill-Nielsen stain. Now, the culture. The culture of the fungus, it is not as easy as bacterial culture. It is laborious than the bacterial culture, and this which you cannot differentiate, since there are several causative agents of the mycetoma. It is not an easy task. You cannot differentiate. It is, though it is laborious, you have to perform it for the research purpose or for the confirmation also, you have to perform the culture. So prior to culture, the grains should be washed with the sterile distilled water or sterile saline to reduce the contamination. And now, then it should be crushed. Directly, you cannot inoculate the grains into the culture media. We have to crush it, and it is inoculated in the fungal culture media for mycetoma. That is Sabouraud dextrose agar. You have to cultivate it, and this matter we add some certain amounts of very little amounts of chloramphenicol for making it selective. That for making it selective, that is otherwise all the bacteria can grow in the Sabouraud dextrose agar. So we have to incorporate some chloramphenicol in the Sabouraud dextrose agar. 0.05 milligram per ml chloramphenicol, it is added in the culture media. We add this chloramphenicol because we are trying to make it selective for the fungus. So we can incubate it at 37 degrees centigrade, or we can keep it in the room temperature. Since it is a fungus, it will grow in the room at the room temperature also. Around 37 degrees centigrade, which will grow perfectly. And 6 to 8 weeks, we should not throw it. Discard grow, we cannot discard it because fungus grow very slowly. Infection, it is a chronic type of infection. So it takes a long time to grow. The blood agar and brain heart infusion broth, or brain heart infusion biphasic media, these are used for the isolation of the bacteria. Bacteria ko lagi different culture media. Just the actinomycetes ko lagi your actinomycetes actually it is anaerobic bacteria actinomycetes, and Robertson cooked meat media, high glycolate broth. These are preferred for the actinomyces species. So त्यसपछि चाहिँ अब कल्चर गर्यो, कल्चर गरेपछि now the macroscopic or the microscopic features of the that is seen in the culture media are noted. And त्यति लेखे पुग्छ है तिमीलाई चाहिँ अब macroscopic and the macroscopic features after culture is noted भनेर चाहिँ you can write. So यो चाहिँ अब एकदम important most common causative भएर यसको चाहिँ अलिकति भनिदिएको मात्रै हैन, अरुको चाहिँ you don't require much it in much detail. This is the hypha, the draw गरेको figure हो actually. So this is the hypha, this is the hypha, or simply a collection of the hypha is known as a mycelium. यसको diameter हेर्ने, and see these have the septum, septum छ. अनि कुनै पार्टमा चाहिँ at the center there is a swollen structure formed which is known as a chlamydospore. यो hypha को बीचमा चाहिँ there is a formation of the chlamydospore also. And this the conidia, it is formed in a phyllide भन्छ, a structure where the conidia is formed. It is known as a phyllide. Phyllide, when it gets inoculated into our body, into our skin or into our subcutaneous tissue, it will cause the infection. So these are the phylloconidia or simply conidia, and this is a phyllide. Phyllide it is a structure from where the conidia are formed. So this is the Madurella species, the Madurella mycetomatis and Madurella gricia. The color of the colonies you don't have to remember. So it keeps on changing. It's actinomycetes, the spidery type of colonies, spidery, the rough halka colonies. It looks like a spider. So actinomycetes. This is the gram staining. Gram staining a little podio. So gram positive, that is, it takes the color of the crystal violet. Is the color. This is a filamentous. It is not a hyphae. It is a filamentous gram positive bacteria, higher bacteria. It closely resembles the fungus. And यसको colonies in the different culture media, it grows on the blood agar, it grows on the chocolate agar, it grows over there. It is again a fungus. Pseudolisteria boydii bhanera. यसमा पनि अब this is a conidiophore, and this is a conidiophore, and यहाँनिर चाहिँ there is a formation of the conidia, and these are the colonies. And your Margirella mycetomatis, again अघिको figure नै हो यो पनि हैन. There is a septate hyphae, septate hyphae. यसरी चाहिँ creolide मा चाहिँ there is a formation of the conidia. यसलाई चाहिँ lactophenol cotton blue mount गरेपछि after the colonies are formed in the culture media, we can perform lactophenol cotton blue mount. त्यसपछि चाहिँ we do not perform Grocottes, methenamine, silver staining हरु, यिनीहरु चाहिँ HNE stain, past stain चाहिँ त्यसपछि गर्दैन है हामीले. It is done for the tissue sections only. Now the serology. Serology, it is not very useful, mycetoma ko लागि the serology, the detection of a fungus ko लागि चाहिँ antibody formation, detection of antibodies are very difficult because cross reactions occur. तर पनि अब it is available, that is the culture filtrate of the cytoplasmic antigen or the other antigens. These are extracted and we can detect the presence of the antibodies in our body. And यसको लागि चाहिँ ELISA is available, immunodiffusion assays are available, rapid testers, these are available for the mycetoma. सबै ल्याबमा त हुँदैन हैन, but for the primary pathogens तिनीहरुको लागि चाहिँ it is available. Now this is all about the mycetoma. यो भयो mycetoma. Now let's start the sporotrichosis. Sporotrichosis चाहिँ अब common name यो एकदमै this is the commonly asked questions in your MCQs है त. Which of the following causes the road handler's disease or rose gardener's disease? अब rose भन्ने नाम आयो कि you can write that it is sporotrichosis. The rose gardener's disease or rose handler's disease, त्यस्तो अब अरु केही नाम होला तर rose भन्ने आयो भने चाहिँ that is it is associated with sporotrichosis भनेर चाहिँ सम्झ है त. Sporotrichosis, it is also known as a rose gardener's disease. Now the introduction of the organism and the disease. And disease again, it is a fungus, sporotrichosis, it is a fungal infection, and the infection is again chronic infection, but it is a pyogenic infection, and there is the formation of the granuloma. So it is a granulomatous infection. Chronic, pyogenic, granulomatous infection of the skin and of the subcutaneous tissue, and it might be disseminated throughout the body. It can be disseminated. This is characterized by the Sunira Salai. Disconnect. Yes, ma'am. So the disease is characterized by the development of the nodules, which will ulcerate later on. So there will be nodule formation, which will ulcerate later on, and it is usually formed in the exposed part of the body. This sporotrichosis, it generally occurs in the exposed part of the body. And oligoma pani, generally the exposed part of the body are involved. Exposed part of the body is involved, and the causative agent of a namera, that is Sporothrix skenki. The causative agent of sporotrichosis is Sporothrix skenki, and remember it is a dimorphic fungus. It is a thermally dimorphic fungus. Thermally dimorphic bhaneको at 37 degrees centigrade it exists as a yeast, inside our body. It exists as a yeast, and in the room temperature it exists as a mold. So it is a thermally dimorphic fungus. Sporothrix skenki is a thermally dimorphic fungus, and these are found in the soil, plants, grass, trees. Importantly, that is the rose plant, that is rose thorns or mass. These organisms are found living. These are found living in the rose thorns. On this, the causative agent is the Sporothrix skenki. Now the mycology of the organism, about the disease. That is this organism, that is Sporothrix skenki. It demonstrates the thermal dimorphism. That is, it is at room temperature or 25 degrees centigrade. It exists as a mold. That is, it has a septate hyphae. Again, it has a branching septate hyphae. where there is a formation of the conidia, conidia, or simply you can call it spore. These are formed by the hyphal structure. Of yeast, it is about the size of a bacteria, bacteria, a little larger size. So it does not form spore. The yeast form, it does not form the spore. And the yeast form is seen inside our body. Tissues are at 37 degrees centigrade, the organism, it exists as the yeast form. So it is known as a thermally dimorphic fungus. So the colonies, it forms within 2 weeks incubation. After the 2 weeks incubation on the Savard dextrose agar, it takes about 2 weeks. When it is incubated at room temperature, you can keep it just outside, or you can incubate it at 25 to 28 degrees centigrade in the incubator. So initially the colonies, these are moist or whitish in color. Later on, there will be formation of the pigmentation. There is the formation of the brown or black color pigmentation after further incubation. Initially, there will be formation of the moist whitish colored. Later on, there will be the black or brown pigment. Color of the colony will. In this reverse, there will be clear pigmentation formation. So yeast ko chahi ekdam important role because it is formed inside our body. So when we perform the laboratory diagnosis, initially that is the yeast phase is seen. So in the clinical specimen, we will see the yeast phase, and the yeast does not have the capsule. Cryptococcus neoformans is also yeast, which is a capsulated yeast. It does not have a capsule, and Esco's shape like it has a characteristic appearance known as a cigar shaped appearance. A cigar bundle shape, leprosy that is the yeast. It has a cigar shaped appearance, and oval, it is very pleomorphic. Shape oval, or it can be much elongated to look like a cigar shaped. Now again, of epidemiology, similar epidemiology, it can be found in the soil, it can be found in the dead vegetations, or simply in the growing tree. So these are found in the vegetations, simply. And our individual, the occupational individuals are just our farmers, forestry workers, nursery workers. These are affected with these organisms. Laborers, those who work in the land, in the grass or in the vegetations, in the forest, definitely there will be the infection with this organism if the precaution is not taken. Full sleeve dress, there might be cut and the organism will enter. Now the pathogenesis. Pathogenesis, it is a bit similar. Initially, there will be, if there is a break in the skin, the organism might be inoculated. Or primarily, the organism, let's say it is present in the thorn, it's the splinters are mounted, so the organism will directly enter into the skin and into the subcutaneous tissue. So initially, if there is a break in the skin, the organism will easily enter into that area. So sometimes, since it is a hypha, it forms the conidia as well. The inoculation in the lungs can occur, causing the pulmonary sporotrichosis as well. So there might be inhalation into the lungs. Since we are talking about skin, primarily the skin it can enter. So the primary lesion will be formed at the site of the inoculation. And initially there will be a reddened lesion formation, that is the erythematous papule will be formed, which will enlarge over the days, over the days or the years, over the months or weeks, which to enlarge. And later on, there will be formation of the fixed cutaneous nodules, which might ulcerate. This might say about nodule or the plaque. These might be formed, which will later on ulcerate. But fixed, there might be sometimes localized infection. Sometimes it might disseminate it. It might be disseminated. It's not saying the lymph nodes, the nearby lymph nodes might be seeded. And the lymphatic channel which drains that nodules, which drains that site, the anatomical site matter, there will be formation of the further other lesions. That is, the lymphocutaneous lesions are the hallmark of sporotrichosis. And every line matches, there might be formation of the ulcerative nodule formation. And localized the lesions might be formed at the initial site of inoculation only. Sometimes the lymphatic channels, let's say, sometimes it might carry the organism, and there might be formation of the lesion in that part, in that anatomical site. And usually, again, it is painless. So, now there is the formation of the eruption initially, that is known as a sporotrichoid eruption. And whole channel matter, there is the eruption of this sporotrichoid lesion, or simply there is the eruption. Photograph and sometimes not only the cutaneous area, there might be extracutaneous sporotrichosis and curricular joint mass, sometimes in the eyes, sometimes through to other parts and bones or mapani, there might be the sporotrichosis. And cutaneous matter now, extracutaneous sporotrichosis can also occur, or sometimes from the lymph or from the blood, it might disseminate it throughout the body. So there are the 5 clinical types of the sporotrichosis. 5 clinical types matter: lymphocutaneous sporotrichosis, fixed cutaneous sporotrichosis, most common one, that is the lymphocutaneous sporotrichosis. It's the fixed cutaneous, mucocutaneous, disseminated, or the pulmonary sporotrichosis. So one by one, in short, we are talking about all of these. The lymphocutaneous, the lymphatic channel which drains that part, the anatomical part, there is the formation of the nodules. And primary, suppose this is the primary, and then there are the formation of the other nodules as well. So it is the most common, that is 75% of the sporotrichosis. It is lymphocutaneous sporotrichosis. Incubation period, unlike mycetoma, it's short, about 3 weeks. It might take many months as well. So initially small, non-tender nodule, nodule is formed until it will ulcerate. Later on, it ulcerate, and especially the lymphatic channels, the lymphatic drainage, there will be formation of the other nodules, which will again ulcerate. And lymph nodes nearby, lymph nodes, they will enlarge. So you buy lymphocutaneous sporotrichosis. Lymphatic drainage method now, all part there is the drainage, there is a formation of the ulcerative nodules, and so this is the sporotrichosis of the hand. Rose handlers disease, the rose handlers or rose gardeners disease. Fixed cutaneous, cutaneous infection, but it is limited to skin only, and there is no dissemination of the nodules, no dissemination of the disease to other parts of the body, and it is less common. And in lymphatic drainage or dissemination to the blood, it does not occur in the fixed cutaneous sporotrichosis. And appearance it might not appear like that, and it's warty, the musa, there is the warty appearance can occur. Sometimes there might be presence of the plaques, it's a condition of crusting. So the appearance may be ulcerative, that is varicose, and that is, it is a warty appearance, warty appearance, the tumor warty appearance, photograph varicose appearance can occur. It might be papular, so ulcers form papule just the form. So there might be differ. So fixed cutaneous matter, endemic areas matter generally in the farmers, in the endemic areas of Sporothrix kenki, it might be cutaneous, it might be localized because they may have some immunity. So your boy the rough khalko, musa rough khalko ulcer size, it is known as a varicose type. It is a fixed one. It is a varicose type sporotrichosis, but it's a lymphocutaneous map. Extensive type of sporotrichosis, that is varicose. Musa type, that is varicose. Warty type of lesions. Mucocutaneous, soft palate, there is the infection with sporotrichosis. the lesions are seen in mouth, in the pharynx, larynx, nose, these are formed. So initially, it's an erythematous ulcerative lesion. Later on, it might be granulomatous lesion. Since it is formed in the soft parts of the body, it is accompanied by pain as well. The mucocutaneous part. Now, the pulmonary sporotrichosis. अब यो चाहिँ हाम्रो पछि उसमा को topic भयो यो recipe को हैन. So it results primarily from the inhalation of the conidia. Conidia inhale गरे directly it will go to the lung. It will grow over there as a yeast. And त्यसमा चाहिँ there will be it is related with the cavity formation. एकदम TB जस्तै गरेर tuberculosis मा जस्तै गरेर there will be nodules or the cavity formation. Disseminated sporotrichosis. But disseminated sporotrichosis, it generally occurs in the immune compromised or the immune suppressed individuals. Or it can disseminate. एउटा पार्टमा चाहिँ localized infections or lymphocutaneous infections. The dissemination can occur through the blood. Hematogenous dissemination can occur, or from the lymph nodes it can disseminate to the other body parts, and there might be formation of the nodules. The papules can be formed in any part of the body. And it can disseminate to the visceral organs, and not only in the lungs. It might go to the kidneys. It might go to the testes, breast. It can cause orchitis, mastitis, inflammation of the testes. It can occur. So this is known as a disseminated sporotrichosis. The bone can be involved, the joint can be involved, causing osteoarticular sporotrichosis. So osteoarticular sporotrichosis if the bones are involved. Now the lab diagnosis. Laboratory diagnosis the sample of cutaneous or mucocutaneous or subcutaneous infections sample. So the purulent discharge, the purulent material, or the skin biopsy and tissue sections, these are our sample. Especially sample especially we have to observe the direct examination. And we are not talking about the macroscopic observation. Like a grain color we cannot identify. So we have to observe it under the microscope. But directly when we collect the tissue specimen, purulent material, we may not observe the sufficient. There might be absence of the sufficient number of the organisms. So usually it's a direct examination, but the organism it is quite the unsuccessful procedure, but we have to do it. So it is quite there is the very low number of the organism. That is the relative paucity of the organism. Direct examination, so we might not see the organism. But we have to perform the KOH mount. Potassium hydroxide, we put the organism, the clinical specimens, we put it in the KOH potassium hydroxide, and we have to look for the presence of our body form. Anyone? अब हाम्रो स्याम्पलमा चाहिँ कुन हेर्ने त फंगसको सेपरेट हाइफेहरु हेर्ने कि ईस्ट फर्म हेर्ने कि के हेर्ने त डाइरेक्टली हेर्दा एनीवन हजुर ल जसले भने पनि हुन्छ मैले तिमीहरुको अनुहार देखाएको छैन तिमीहरुको नाम पनि मलाई अब कन्ठ भएको छैन अहिलेसम्म हजुर क्वेशन हेर्न ल ईस्ट फर्म है त ल ठिकै छ ईस्ट फर्म इज सीन इन आवर सैंपल बिकज हाम्रो बडीमा मल्टिप्लाई भएर चाहिँ at 37 degree centigrade at 35 to 37 degree centigrade the organism it exists as the yeast हैन बाहिर room temperature मा surface मा भयो भने it exists as a mold so inside our body it exists as the elongated yeast cells so आजलाई चाहिँ अब यतिकै गरौँ हैन फेरि अर्को क्लास होला तिमीहरुको अब अरु रिमेनिङ ल्याबोरेटरी डायग्नोसिस र रिमेनिङ चाहिँ we will continue in the next class है त स्पोरोट्राइकोसिस मा अब आज सकाउला भनेको जबरजस्ती नसकाम हैन बिस्तारै नै गरौँ
एक्सक्युज मी म्याम
हजुर
म्याम हाम्रो क्लास छैन अनि बीडीएस को पनि 11 बाट क्लास छैन हजुरले टाइम लिदा हुन्छ होला आज
हो त्यसो भए एउटा सकाउँ त है स्पोरोट्राइकोसिस चाहिँ सकाम है
हजुर हुन्छ म्याम
स्पोरोट्राइकोसिस सकायो भने अनि तिमीहरुलाई पनि सजिलो हुन्छ के अनि बिचमा हुँदैन नि हैन सो अब यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले स्याम्पल लियो हैन त्यसपछि after we perform the KOH mount we can see the elongated yeast cells हैन elongated yeast cells the cigar shaped को yeast cells हरु चाहिँ देखिन सक्छ हैन it is not very confirm हैन that is we may or may not see but if we see the organism it is cigar shaped or small oval shaped yeast cells. So after त्यो भयो हाम्रो KOH mount. Otherwise, we can perform directly of the tissue sections. So we have to stain it with the special stain for the fungus. And we have talked about it before, calcofluor white stain. Your name is for the tissue section directly, we can stain it with the calcofluor white stain, periodic acid skip stain, Grocott methanamine silver stain, or Gomorrhees methanamine silver stain. These are the stains which will stain the tissue sections. This is the area. Now we have to observe the characteristic appearance. Characteristic feature is the asteroid body. When it is formed, this figure I will show you. The characteristic feature is the asteroid body. Is the asteroid body when they go an elongated yeast cell at the center, and there will be the formation of the radiating material from the yeast cell. That is initially yeast-like body, that is cigar-shaped body. It is basophilic. And by the surface mass, there is the radiating substance, and there is the radiating eosinophilic substance, which is formed by the yeast cell and by the host tissue interaction. There is a eosinophilic substance radiating from the yeast cell, which is present in the center. It is known as the asteroid body, and it is the characteristic feature of the sporotrichosis. If you write it in laboratory diagnosis, it is best. MCQs asteroid body, it is the characteristic feature of K. You might be asked. Highlight that important. So you hear the radiating of exact, but these radiating materials, these are formed by the antigen-antibody interaction. These are the radiating material. And in these matter, there is the perfectly there is the formation of the presence of the yeast cell at the center. And by the radiating substance, it is known as the asteroid body. And this asteroid body, it is the characteristic feature of the Sporothrix skenki infection. There is a paucity of the organism, and it might not be present always. Characteristic feature. And it is the pathognomonic feature of the organism. Hallmark is just the one. So, this is the yeast, right? Cigar shaped. Perfect cigar. It is a cigar shaped bodies or cigar bodies. Asteroid bodies, cigar bodies. These are the characteristic of the Sporothrix skenki. And you say now these are the true yeasts. After you cultivate it in the culture media, when you perform the LPCB mount, or you can perform the gram stain, this is seen. Okay, yes, the budding yeast. Important this one. This budding yeast. Cigar shape but laboratory after we cultivate it in the culture media, stain it is seen. It is the yeast form. Remember, the yeast form is seen in the body, and when you cultivate it in the culture media, we have to incubate it at 37 degrees centigrade. Otherwise, it is not seen. Microscopic observation. Now, the fungal culture. Most reliable is fungal culture because there is the very low amount of the organism present in the tissue sections. We have to perform the culture. And the cultivation, it is done in the Sabrodextrose agar for the mold form. Mold form, we have to incubate it in the Sabrodextrose agar. This form blood agar is best. Blood agar, brain heart infusion agar, chocolate agar, inner matter, we have to incubate it. And the incubation, it is done at 2 temperatures. Because it is a thermally dimorphic fungus, so the incubation have to be done at 2 temperatures. Culture media, you have to incubate it at 25 degrees centigrade. 25 degrees centigrade, you will see the mold form, that is hypha, separate hypha, conidia study. We have to incubate it at 25 degrees centigrade, and the remaining you have to incubate it at the 37 degree centigrade. Now अब फंगस चाहिँ इनिशियली व्हाइट टु क्रीम कलर हुन्छ and later on it will change in color, that is brownish blackish type को colonies हुन्छ after the prolonged incubation. After prolonged incubation there will be formation of the pigment. अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ अब हाइफालाई हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ there is the twisted rope like appearance, mycelium चाहिँ they will from the net of the mycelium, so they have the twisted rope like appearance हुन सक्छ because of the intertwining of the mycelial strands. And there is the formation of the conidiophore. Conidiophore, it is a structure from where the conidia are formed. So there is the formation of the conidiophores and there is the formation of the conidia, and the conidia formation, it looks like a flower, flowery appearance, it's a flower-like pattern. It looks like a daisy, This is a septate hypha, it's a septum, it is not seen. And this is a hypha. Hypha, hypha, but the conidiophore will arise from the hypha, and conidiophore there will be formation of the phyllide. There is a structure known as the phyllide. Phyllide means there is the presence of this formation of these conidia. So flower just the so flower like pattern means it looks like a daisy. Kune daisy flowers just a pattern. Simply it has a flower like pattern. The conidia have the arrangement. This arrangement like a flower like pattern arrangement one. And initially चाहिँ अब यो कोलोनिजहरु चाहिँ व्हाइटिश हुन्छ, प्रोलॉन्ग इन्क्युबेसन गरेपछि यस्तो कि डार्क कलर हुँदै जान्छ हैन यसको पिगमेन्टेसन. यसको चाहिँ आफ्टर यो चाहिँ इनिशियल अगाडिबाट हेर्दा चाहिँ इट लुक्स लाइक दिस फ्रम द ओभर साइड हैन, फ्रम द फ्रन्ट साइड इट लुक्स लाइक दिस, अनि त्यो कल्चर मिडिया चाहिँ इफ यु टर्न इट हैन अनि पछाडीबाट हेर्दा यु क्यान सी द पिगमेन्टेसन व्हिच इज ब्ल्याक और ब्राउन इन कलर. And the longer you incubate, it will become wrinkled, more wrinkled, right? यसमा चाहिँ wrinkled त्यस्तै हुँदै जान्छ, जति एज हुँदै गयो it will become much more wrinkled. And this you see अनि blackish brownish हुँदै जान्छ after the further collection of the pigmentation. So यो चाहिँ भयो. अनि यही कल्चर मिडियाबाट चाहिँ अलिकति स्याम्पल यु टेक few mycelium and especially lactophenol cotton blue गरेपछि you can see this type of appearance. Right? This is the colony, this is the microscopy. त्यसलाई चाहिँ माइक्रोस्कोपी गरेर हेर्दा यो हामीले चाहिँ we cannot see these conidia with our naked eye. हैन यो पनि माइक्रोस्कोपमा हेरेपछि मात्र you can see this. यो भयो. अनि त्यसपछि अर्को फर्दर त्यो कल्चरमै अब एकदमै सम्झिनु पर्ने कुरा के छ भन्दाखेरि for the definitive identification of the pathogen you have to see the conversion of the tissue yeast to the mycelial form. Right? And अथवा mycelium लाई चाहिँ you can convert it into yeast, tissue yeast. कसरी गर्ने भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब पहिला तिमीले यसमा यसरी कल्टिभेसन गर्यो हैन, you cultivate it, यो चाहिँ तिम्रो you have cultivated it at 20 degree centigrade, so it is a mold form. अब यसमा चाहिँ you take a few sample हैन, यसबाट चाहिँ अलिकति organism you take and you inoculate it in the blood agar and you incubate it at 37 degree centigrade. Now you will see the yeast form. अगाडि देखाएको यो yeast form चाहिँ now you will see after you incubate it in the culture media. यो भयो yeast form अनि यो हेरेर कति डिफरेन्स छ, and this is the mold form. So यसलाई चाहिँ भन्छ demonstration of the dimorphism. So conversion of the tissue yeast to the mycelial form or from the mycelial form to tissue yeast भयो भने चाहिँ now it is the definitive identification. Now you can say that it is Sporothrix skenki. So अब mycelium बाट tissue form को लागि चाहिँ you have to incubate it at proper temperature, that is 37 degree centigrade, and the culture media मा चाहिँ you have to incubate certain amino acids or the vitamins and enriched बनाउनु पर्यो. त्यसरी चाहिँ this is important fungal culture. Now the skin test. अब यो the skin test you must have already studied it हैन. यसमा चाहिँ तिम्रो लेप्रोमिन skin test जस्तै हो. It is a delay type hypersensitivity हो. यसमा चाहिँ the antigen that is extracted from the yeast form or from the mycelial form, it is injected intradermally in the forearm. Intradermal injection is done, and त्यसमा चाहिँ if the individual हैन अब यदि मलाई चाहिँ sporotrichosis, if I am infected with sporotrichosis or Sporothrix skenki, I will have the T cells against it, formation of the T cells against it, B cells, T cells are sufficient amount, and there will be formation of the area of induration or erythema at that site. This means there will be formation of the indurated area of 5 mm or larger until I have been infected with sporotrichosis before also, and फेरि अहिले पनि भयो भने चाहिँ now त्यो इम्प्युटेसन आयो भने द्याट आई एम इन्फेक्टेड विथ स्पोरोट्राइकोसिस भनेर थाहा हुन्छ. द्याट इज द स्किन टेस्ट. द्याट इज डिले टाइप हाइपर सेन्सिटिभिटी रिएक्सन. अब सेरोलोजिकल टेस्ट अगेन दिज आर नट भेरी युजफुल होइन, नट स्पेसिफिक एन्ड नट युजफुल. क्रस रिएक्सन्स हुन्छ, त्यही भएको इट इज नट स्पेसिफिक होइन. एकदम फङ्गसको लागि एकदम स्पेसिफिक सेरोलोजिकल टेस्टहरू चाहिँ दिज आर नट भेरी available. So latex agglutination test, complement fixation test, immunodiffusion test, ELISA available छ हैन. अब रिसर्च को लागि these are still being done but it is not very useful. So आजलाई चाहिँ यति गरौँ. अनि अब अरु चाहिँ एकदम कन्फ्युजन हुन्छ एकचोटि धेरै गर्दाखेरि हैन. अब because we have to complete 4 other topics हैन. So यो चाहिँ अब नेक्स्ट क्लासमा छोटो क्लास हुन्छ. नेक्स्ट क्लास पनि we will have a short class अब अर्को वीक चाहिँ. So this is all for today. Sporotrichosis and mycetoma. अलिकति नामहरु चाहिँ तिमीहरुलाई डेफिनेटली गाह्रो भइरहेछ होला. सो अब यो क्लास नेक्स्ट क्लास सकेपछि चाहिँ म एकजनालाई आई विल इमेल यु हैन, यो नोट्सहरु चाहिँ आई विल गिभ यु है. अब यसरी नै पुरै स्लाइड चाहिँ आई वान्ट हैन, यो दिने कुरा आउँदैन. तिमीहरुलाई इम्पोर्टेन्ट यही नै, तर इन द नोट्स फर्म आई विल गिभ इट टु यु है त. ओके, केही छ भन्नुपर्ने? तिमीहरुको 46 जना भइसकेछ.
केही छैन म्याम.
1 आवर भएपछि. आदित्य?
हजुर म्याम. हजुर म्याम.
आदित्य?
हजुर म्याम.
केही छ कन्फ्युजन? गाह्रो भइरहेछ है?
नो म्याम.
गाह्रो भइरहेछ तिमीलाई भन त.
लाइक आफैले एकचोटि रिभिजन चाहिँ बुझिन्छ म्याम, त्यस्तो गाह्रो भएको छैन. आफैले एकचोटि रिभिजन गरेपछि चाहिँ झन् राम्ररी बुझिन्छ म्याम, त्यस्तो गाह्रो भएको छैन म्याम.
ल ल अब अरू तिमीहरूको डिफ्रेन्ट सब्जेक्ट्सहरू पढ्नुपर्छ होइन. अब तिमीहरूलाई अब अहिले त अलिकति सुरुमै यस्तो भयो होइन, गाह्रै भइरह होला. अब त्यही भएर नि कन्सिडर गरेर तिमीलाई नोट्सहरू दिन्छु भनेको रिजन त्यही हो. अदरवाइज मैले पहिला त दिएको छैन होइन. तिमीहरूलाई चाहिँ अलिकति कन्सिडर डेफिनेटली गरौँला. त्यही भएर अब रिभिजन गर है. म पछि स्लाइड पठाइदिन्छु, स्लाइड भन्दा नोट्सहरू पठाइदिन्छु, त्यसपछि रिभिजन गर एन्ड इट विल बी.
हजुर, थ्याङ्क यू म्याम. थ्याङ्क यू म्याम.